Welcome back to Android Weekly. My name is Jace, and this past week saw some good news regarding Google's new inbox, and we compare a little bit the iPhone 6 Plus versus Shamu, that is the Nexus 6, and for all you battery hogs out there, we talk about how some of you can save as much as 40% on your battery consumption. Oh yeah. Alright, so if you're like me, you spend a lot of time emailing, more than you'd like to, you'd know that a lot of your email is associated with tasks that you have to do. So when you send or receive an email, you have to do something after that. You have to call someone, email someone, work on something. And Google's inbox is trying to make an effort to kind of fuse those two tasks together. They're also trying to allow you to group a lot of your emails together, which makes it easier to get to inbox 0, which has been a fantasy up until today, at least for me. Google's goal with Inbox is to totally reinvent email by creating an intelligent system to sort information and bundle things into groups so you can better figure out what is worth reading right now and what's worth just dismissing. Beyond this, Inbox sort of acts like a personal assistant with reminders, the ability to snooze items, and even create to-dos. Speaking of to-dos and reminders, if you're a hardware store, for example, Inbox will supply the store's phone number and tell you when it's open. Assist works for your email too. If you make a restaurant reservation online, Inbox adds a map to your confirmation email. Book a flight online, and Inbox gives you a link to check in. Alright, so I was lucky enough to get an invite to Google's Inbox, and I've been using it the past couple days, and so far, love it. It's fantastic. My only concern is ads. When will the ads be coming, if ever? Now, I would be willing to pay for the subscription. I suspect many of you would too. It's a gorgeous, clean interface. I don't want that to change. Just bundle it with Google Business Apps. Come on, Mother Google, give me some. Now, many people out there will want to compare the whale of a phone that is the Nexus 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. So now we're going to just do a brief segment facing these two beasts off. Here we go. First, let's start with the display. We find that the Nexus 6 has a strong head start here. The iPhone 6 Plus's full HD 1080p display catches up with last year's Android devices, but the Nexus 6's 1440p display provides a little extra clarity in this extra large handset size. The other half of the display battle comes down to the classic AMOLED versus LCD arguments. Here we should expect the Nexus 6 AMOLED display to feature better black reproduction and slightly wider color gamut. We found that the AMOLED display offers a little bit more pop colors than most other LCD displays. Now let's talk RAM. RAM might play a bigger part in multitasking performance here, and the Nexus 6 features 3 gigabytes, plenty for all situations, even given Android's tendency to use more memory than iOS. Apple seems to do well with limited resources when it comes to RAM, but I can't help but feel that the 1 gigabyte of RAM could become an issue for more intense multitaskers. Alright, so that's just 2 of the hardware features I want to talk about, but I also wanted to talk about the ecosystems, because there's a reality here. If you're like me, you've been using iTunes for more than 10 years, and over that time I've been accumulating media, like almost 20 gigs of music and more audiobooks, movies, videos, all that stuff within the iTunes ecosystem, and it's just much easier to use them on iOS and Apple devices. If I want to use them on Android devices, I first have to convert them with a program like Double Twist. Double Twist was fantastic, by the way. You should check that out if you're an Android lover or you're converting from iOS to Android. So that is a factor. Do you have a huge ecosystem in iTunes? And if so, are you going to be willing to transfer that over? You need to consider that. Now, if you're a man like me, you enjoy shopping for razors about as much as you enjoy getting fishbowl invites from Facebook. Yeah, not too much. But if I neglect it, info methods to remove those hairy hairs.
On 3, ready?
With its clean and elegant design, Harry's is focused on providing guys with a great shaving experience at a fraction of the price of their competitors. This allows you the convenience and ease of ordering online, and then you get those great high-quality blades engineered at their own factory in Germany for sharpness and strength. And they've officially launched 2 new products, foaming shaving gel and aftershave moisturizer. Now, if you go to harrys.com and use the promo code Android, you get $5 off your first purchase. Check it out. So one of the age-old debates when it comes to saving on battery consumption is how worthwhile, if at all, is it to use apps or graphics that have dark screens? Because if you're using bright screens, the theory is that the battery has to use more juice to fuel those brighter screens. Obviously, it must have some effect. The question is, how much? And now, we know. To put this theory to the test, Greenbot.com grabbed the latest Moto X, which features a 1080p AMOLED display and an app to measure current draw from the battery. The amount of current draw was then measured at repeat intervals using two different display modes on the Reddit Sync app, which then switches between colored and mostly black backgrounds. And the verdict is 40%. That's fantastic. Now, there are other factors that will influence that, whether or not you're in the bright sun. You may not be able to use apps like that, but if your app or phone has the option, you should do it. All right. Thanks for watching, Edward Army. My name is Jace. Love to